Hello and welcome to Tonalist Painting by M. Francis McCarthy. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy. And the painting we're doing today is a study called By the Stream. And it's very recent. It's the most recent thing I think I've posted online this year, and that I finished it probably back in, I don't know, September or October of this year. And I thought it would be good. I'm just actually getting close to finishing um, doing the compositions for the or the composites for the movies I took from that time, because a lot of my time was being taken up by doing the 100 Days of Tonalism, so I really didn't have time to get in and put all my movies together. And one of the things about these movies is that, like 5x7's really three. We have a drawing stage, which you're seeing going on right now. We have a color stage, and then we have just a little very quick touch-up stage where I might do a little quick glazing, or I might do a little quick dry brushing. I really try and keep the studies fresh though, and of course I try and keep all of my paintings fresh, but the studies especially so. Since they're so small, it makes no sense to overwork them. But this last year I did start doing the third pass on the studies, and that was a direct result of the 100 Days of Tonalism, where it became obvious to me that just a little dry brushing or a little glazing here and there could propel the study into another place, generally a better place. And one of the keys to that, I mean, I'm sorry to be so redundant, I'm pretty consistent though, is that I am like with this pass of stuff I did in September. Oh, I'm calling it August, September. So, I have 14 different motifs going. I've got 14 different studies, or maybe more if some of them didn't work out and I didn't feel they'd make good larger paintings. I would bail at that point. But this gives me a chance to let things sit around for a little while and really look at them and think about it. So when I get to the point where I'm going to work on it again, I've had some time to live with it. And I think that's really, at least for me, in the way I think and operate, is very important, to give things time to breathe and be, and to judge them on their merits. If I was to jump in and do that second color pass maybe the next day, which I've done in the past, I think you don't have that level of objectivity. Not that you can never be truly objective about your own work, but, and I've talked about this in the blog in the past and maybe in the videos too. The ability to edit yourself is very, very important for a painter, and it's important for any artist, of course, but painters, unlike say writers, we don't have another individual that's going to come along and trim our words down and get us ship shape. We have to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, and that's just the name of the game. It's the way the cookie crumbles. But one of the things that I think really helps with that is to work on a series of paintings at one given time, and that way you have time to look at things, and you have time to judge what's wrong with them, or what needs to be addressed, or what's right with them, and what you want to leave alone. That's probably even more important. I am really happy with this little motif. Actually, I probably took the reference image. I did take the reference image this year on a trip my wife and I took, probably in June or July, down to Rotorua, and this was basically a little rest stop, and the little stream or creek in it has been installed by me, and that's something that I do more and more if I feel it's necessary, especially in the foreground. I'll be knocking in a little stream, maybe a road, maybe a path, something like that. Or, a lot of times I'll just leave it as grass. I have a lot of techniques for just making grass somewhat interesting as well. So, but I like to mix it up. And the thing I like best about this particular we'll just talk about the study, because that's what we're doing today in the video. Is I think the colors all really work well together, and that sky has got a lot of depth and atmosphere to it, and in general I'm really happy with this painting. And I thought, I don't know how many more of these we'll get one other motif done before the end of the year, most likely. So I thought it'd be good to do a few that I'd actually done in this year, and kind of ring the bells, so to speak, with where we've been and what we've done this year. So this would have been very much informed by the 6 or 7 months that I ended up spending on the 100 Days of Tonalism, which has changed my work in some ways subtly, in other ways not so subtly. And as I've talked about in the blog, dry brushing and glazing, and I've always done those, but I'm doing the dry brushing to a far larger degree now, and the glazing, like I said, I wasn't doing it on studies. I probably was doing a little glazing on my larger paintings, even if it was just maybe a little black in the corners and things like that. Let's see, we've got a little time left here. I guess I'll talk about what I've been doing today, which is a nice little study actually of some light breaking through some trees. It's almost a non-subject subject, and the kind of thing that I've been getting better at doing, where the real focal point and is the light itself breaking through an area of trees and onto a path or something like that. And I've always found those sorts of scenes really enchanting, but haven't really had the wherewithal to paint them well until fairly recently. So wish you guys could come to the studio and see it, but who knows, at some point maybe I'll be throwing it up here on the blog or YouTube, and you guys can check it out. It was just a 5x7 I did today. I had a lot of intentions of maybe doing a 5x7 study and a larger painting, but sometimes it doesn't work out, and you really learn as a painter to follow your intuition. You don't want to push things out, but you want to also be always working and always getting things done. So I try and get some painting done every single day, rain or shine, and for the most part I do that, and it's one of the reasons why I have a decent body of work and that I get better as a painter. In fact, it's the only way to get better as a painter, ladies and gentlemen, is by doing a lot of paintings. Anyway, we can see we're getting to the end here of the video. Thanks for joining us. Oh, by the way, today is the 16th of December down here in the southern hemisphere, and this is Wednesday. We're going to be doing a larger version of this Saturday, so come back, check that out, and meanwhile, take good care and stay out of trouble.